All right. Hey, how's it, everybody? It is right around 5 p.m. West Coast time. I'm going to call it 3 p.m. Hawaii time, 8 p.m. on that, their East Coast, and 7 p.m. for our Central Time folk. I am, no, I'm not Chatter Statter. I am Mad Statter today. I don't know who I am. Who are you? Who am I? What are we doing here? Let's see if we can have a chat about that. All right, so it looks like we've got Katie Zora in the house along with Penel Writes Things. Looks like Terry Gilmore is logging in through YouTube again since Twitch is being twitchy. And we've got Terry in Scotland in the house. Let's see here who else we got going on. Shakalaka letting us know the schedule, the Skadooli, Bainy Bo here in the house. Bainy Bo, good to see you. Bainy Bo, I'm not gonna lie, I have been using, I haven't been doing the good to go for a long time now, but that, that automatic hot water heater that you insisted Terry needed, and then you also insisted I needed. Well, it turns out you know exactly what I need. You know exactly what Terry needed, because I'll tell you what, I've been making coffee at home, saving myself some money with the instant hot water heater. And it is very simple, very quick, very easy to clean up after, unlike the French press method that I had been using previously. I have to say, I've said it before, and I will say it again. You don't know you need an instant hot water heater until you get your instant hot water heater. And then you realize, oh my God, I needed that so bad. Because you really do. And just like we need eMusic in the house, good to see you, eMusic. All right, let's see here. So, I'm still drinking coffee, which means I'm a little bit confused right now. So why don't we get some party started, and then we'll figure out what the flying fork it is we're doing here today. Okay? Okay. Okay, wrong button, didn't upload a Lono listening break. We are flying high today. How's it, eMusic? eMusic, I hope things are better for you than they are for me, because right now I am clearly not, I'm clearly not. I don't know what it is that I am. I don't know what it is that I isn't, but I'm not, things are not quite smooth, although they're not cattywampus, they're all over the place. So, here we go. Terry in Scotland. I still can't stream through Twitch. I've been streaming on Discord. Now I'm trying to figure out how to stream through Facebook. My lack of bandwidth has finally caught up with me, I guess. Is that really though, Terry? You were saying that other gamers were having problems as well. I mean, you'd think, if you've got enough bandwidth to stream to any platform, why can't you stream to Twitch? That sucks, dude. I'm honestly, I am the last person on earth you need to be talking to about this. You were surprised that you were able to stream at all? Oh, well, okay, there you go. But yeah, I am absolutely the last person to be checking in on tech support issues. I honestly know that if for whatever reason everything undid itself that I have done over the past 2 years to do what it is that I do, I don't think I could put it back together again. At least not very quickly. Because I don't even remember what it is that I did to get here to do what I'm doing. I just know that it's all set up now, and I also know that I should probably shut my mouth. Yeah, I should just shut my mouth. That's what I'm gonna do, actually. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean my glasses, and I'm gonna shut my mouth. You can tell that I'm shutting my mouth because sound keeps coming out of it, right? Yeah. Last night at the bar, actually, someone told me to stop talking, and it was very valid reason. Legit valid reason. And so then I put my sweater over my mouth, and he's like, well, you don't need to do that. And I was like, no, actually, I do need to do that. In order to keep myself from talking, I have to basically put a hand over my flippin' mouth. So, carry on, sir. And it trailed us. Good to see you, evening, afternoon, whatever it is exactly. Whatever it is, wherever you are, I hope that you're cozy, warm, and dry. That's all that really matters at this point. Cozy, warm, and dry. Because let me tell you, dude, I've got hair coming out of my mouth. But also, that's not what I need to tell you. But also, because what I'm telling you is it sounds like everywhere across the country, except for maybe in Missouri, is going through a crazy, crazy freeze. Missouri did go through a freeze, but now they're like looking at 55-degree weather, so lucky them. But here in the Pacific Northwest, as we spoke about the last stream, we have had quite the downpour, and since the last stream, we have absolutely had even more rain. And so Auburn, places in Auburn have been evacuated, places in Kent have been evacuated, places in Pacific have been evacuated, and places in Tukwila have been evacuated. These mean nothing to you, but what I can tell you is whenever I mention the Kent Valley and how I love to get my produce in it and how it's just down the low part from where I live and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, that's all the Kent Valley right there. From Pacific up through Renton and Tukwila, that's all one big flat valley surface, and it is underwater. And it was underwater before yesterday, and yesterday we got in a huge rain cloud. Levees broke all over the place, and I'll tell you what, if there's one joke I heard over and over and over again yesterday was, well, Led Zeppelin warned us this would happen, because levees were breaking all over the place here in the Pacific Northwest. And so Apple Weather says we have identical temperature right now, right around 45 degrees. Yeah, that sounds about right. And it's kind of breezy here though, so it feels, I don't know, a little chillier than 45. My house got really cold earlier today. I'm not quite sure how and or why that happened. Hey, Mama Sean, good to see you. Happy Wednesday to you. And Trailed Us, I agree. Hair coming out of your mouth, not buying that t-shirt. No, I don't want that t-shirt at all. Not me either. And let's see here. Terry in Scotland's telling eMusic, I invited everyone to my Facebook stream page, but I don't know how to stream yet. All right, well then we won't expect that happening anytime in the next 5 minutes. And let's see here. Mama Sean in the house. Yes, indeedly do. All right, you guys. So, got to get some of that delicious coffee made with the instant hot water heater and some Cafe Bustelo medium roast coffee. Okay, so, and a little half and half. Let's see. Lake Washington probably looks like it doubled in size if viewed from outer space. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that, but I do know that there's a huge, log boom that's kind of choked up the Cedar River by the Boeing plant before it drains into Lake Washington. And the White River has gone over its banks in places. The Green River has definitely gone over its banks in places. So we have definitely got a lot of problems. We've got probably, I don't know, there's a 50-mile stretch of road up on Highway 2 between Skykomish and Leavenworth that is out and probably will be out for 6 or more months. In fact, here's a little bit of here's the situation. So the situation is Highway 2 will be closed for months while they fix major washouts. One of the washouts is a 50, that's 50-mile stretch of the highway. One town that will be the hardest hit is Leavenworth. And that is so true. If you guys have ever heard me speak of Leavenworth, Leavenworth is a town up in the mountains that's it's a Bavarian village that is basically, I think only 4,000 people live there year long, or maybe 1,200 or something. But during the winter, it is Santa's workshop. It is Santa's town. People from all over the state, all over the country even, come to see Leavenworth. And a 50-mile stretch of the highway to get to Leavenworth has been closed. And those are the details. This is Leavenworth. This is what I'm talking about. This is a major tourist destination. Christmas time is where, how, what, why Leavenworth exists. It's how it makes its money. It is literally the driving economic force of the entire town, is its Christmas festival. The Christmas festival generally runs from right around Thanksgiving time, actually even past Christmas. And when I say past Christmas, I even mean past the Orthodox Christmas, which happens in January. But basically, it is Santaville, Santa Town all over the place. But unfortunately, in order to get to the place, whoops, this is the road that you have to take. Only, yeah, you can't take that road because this is part of the road that's been, there's 50 miles of this road that basically look like this. And that's only one road. That's all up in the mountains. We still have plenty of flooding down here in the lower area, right down in the Kent Valley. This is literally what the Kent Valley looked like yesterday. And this was before the major rainstorm came through yesterday. So, excuse me. So if you, so yeah, all of this is, basically to the east of me. And when I say to the east of me, I really don't mean far east. I mean like less than 2 miles. This is what it looks like from where I live. I live, remember, on the High Line, so I am not down in the valley. But the valley is not but, 2 miles away from me, heading east in a straight line. Probably less than 2 miles, actually. So luckily, this is an area that's a lot of industry. Not necessarily a lot of homes. But about 1,200 people from Kent, 1,400 people from Auburn, and another probably 1,200 people from Pacific have all had to evacuate. And Trail Dust, you have a friend who lives in Kent. He had to evacuate. Yes, down in the valley's so low. Hang your head over, hear the wind blow. Yeah, I'm telling you, dude. And this valley is, as much as the pictures along the coastlines look like we're full of hills and mountains, we are. A lot of hill, a lot of texture to their landscape. But remember also, where there's mountains, there's rivers. And where there's rivers, there's valleys. And we happen to have a very large valley that encompasses 2 or 3 different river watersheds that is just south of Seattle. This actually is... let's see here. That's nice, Rayans. You're so cute. But I think that you might be spamming us. So I appreciate you chatting. Why don't you hang out for a minute before you offer to help? But here we go. Oh, yep, there we go. Where there's rivers, there's water. Yeah. And so basically, like I said, luckily down in the valley, it's mostly industry. It's a little bit of agriculture. Not a whole lot of people live there. But as Trail Dust said, some people do live down in the valley. And one by one, the levees are breaking for various and assorted rivers. They're trying to repair them, but there's still just so much, even with the repair of the levee, there's so much water. It's standing water. It's not really going anywhere. There's more water falling from the sky. I'm a huge fan of rain. I am a huge fan of rain. But we can stop now. Like it's all yeah, we can all stop now. And yeah, Pinnell, not at all surprised to hear that Vancouver Island has some serious flooding as well. If I remember correctly, I saw something about Nanaimo having a nice issue. And when I say nice issue, I don't mean nice at all. And let's see here. Hold on. Let's see here. You live in a van down by the river, or at least you can make a run for it. That is true. That is true. And luckily, not many people do live in a van down by the river, because we banned that many years ago. And Jack had to find a place for his animals. Yeah, Trail Dust, we were talking about that last night at the bar because there is a lot of ag land down there. And, with agricultural land, there's a lot of farming, but there's also a lot of animals. And so we were wondering, were they able to... Trail Dust, if you happen to know any details, I would be curious. Did they have to hire somebody with trailers? Were they able to just evacuate all their animals? Did they have to, like I said, hire groups of people? Because there's a lot of animals, and just because you've got a horse trailer doesn't mean you've got a horse trailer that's big enough for 5 of your horses, because you generally only are moving 2 or 3 of your horses at a time, because that 4th and 5th one, they're not, they're just homebound horses or whatever. I'm wondering how many people actually had enough capability on their own to move all of their animals. Because how many people really have, if you've got a cattle ranch, or if you've got a milk farm, a dairy farm, and I happen to know that there are cattle ranches and dairy farms. I don't know about the cattle ranch, but there are dairy farms in that valley. Like, do you really have enough trailers to pull out all your cows? Really? Is that expectation? And it's just a hobby farm. Different animals went to different friends. Okay, cool. And let's see here. I can stand a little rain, but when the rain comes through the floorboards, I can stand a little rest. Pretty much. That's exactly, pretty much. And Mama Sean, I would love it if I could redirect the extra rain down south, because I have a feeling that, California and Arizona probably need the rain a little bit more than we do at this point. I'm not saying that they don't have their fair share of landslides, etc., but please, sir, I don't need my water glass refilled. I've had enough. Dr. Steve and I were talking about when the Monroe Valley twice, and they were starting to build houses in that valley before we left. I'm assuming flooded twice is what you meant to say there. Yeah, and with housing density and population density growing in the Puget Sound area, it's logical that the valleys are going to get built up. But yeah, I don't mean to gloat, but I am just so proud of my foresight, my past self's foresight to purchase land on elevated ground than in the valley. And I know that it was my real estate agent and my past self that had these good ideas, because there was a couple houses that I was tempted by, but yeah, not good. And let's see here, Bainy Bo, your city is getting Popeyes, and Terry said it's good. Do I like it? Yes and no, Bainy Bo. First off, Popeyes. Okay, you guys, let's talk about Popeyes, shall we? How many of you guys have Popeyes in your neck of the woods? And if you don't know what Popeyes is, it's a fried chicken chain, similar basically to a KFC, only their preparation of chicken is completely different. Popeyes, their chicken is really crispy, really, really crispy. And Katie Zora, you got 2 within 5 minutes of each other. Okay, right on. Have you ever been there, Katie? Have you ever tried their chicken? I like their chicken, but I don't like their spicy chicken because it's too spicy. And a lot of people really prefer the seasoned chicken. I prefer their plain kind. Their shrimp, they don't have a plain kind. They only deep fry the shrimp in the spicy batter, so the shrimps are too spicy for me. But oh my god, dude, I don't even care about any of that. They have the best mac and cheese. Their mac and cheese is the bomb. So flippin' delicious. They used to have dirty rice. They don't anymore. They do have red beans and rice. I haven't tried that yet. Their rolls are good for sure. And they've got a chicken sandwich that's actually really quite nice. Although I have to say I prefer the Kentucky Fried Chicken sandwich. But their chicken sandwich is pretty good. Their rolls are good. However, when it comes to chicken places who serve chicken and the rolls they have with them, Church's Chicken has the best biscuits. Hands down, bar none, Church's Chicken has the best biscuits. And that is a hill I probably will die on. And I will die on it with clogged arteries and diabetes, because those biscuits are honey butter glazed. They've got this crispy top that's kind of sweet. Oh man, oh man, oh man. Super, super delish. But we're talking about Popeyes. Their rolls are good, but not as good as Church's. And yeah, they do have the good sides, but like I said, if for no other reason, have the macaroni and cheese. Even if you hate chicken and you hate shrimp and you hate rice and you hate everything, you can't hate mac and cheese. They've got good mac and cheese. And let's see here. McDonald's is making the Big Arch Burger permanent over here. Bainey, Bo, and Katie approve. I don't know what the Big Arch Burger is. Can someone tell me what the Big Arch Burger is? And Terry, I miss Popeye's Dirty Rice as well. I was so bummed and confused when they finally came into the Pacific Northwest. I was like, yes, I don't have to go to Texas for my Popeye's Dirty Rice anymore. And I pulled through the drive-thru and I sat there for the longest time and I couldn't find it anywhere on their menu. And so finally I had to ask, and they're like, no, we don't have that out here. And it's just like, oh, that was one of the best things you had. Their chicken is good. I mean, it's good chicken. To me, the most stellar thing out of Popeyes is their mac and cheese. And Swiss Chalet has boring rolls. I don't think I've seen a Swiss Chalet restaurant in I don't even know since when. And Katie, you have Wendy's there in the UK. What do you like? What do you like at Wendy's? I'm a big fan of the Son of Baconator. The Son of Baconator burger. It's basically just a bacon double cheeseburger, but it's not the big version. It's the kids version or whatever. But it's so big, you don't really need the big version. Son of Baconator is what I'm all about when it comes to Wendy's. And Wendy's has some pretty good fries. Not gonna lie, they've got good fries. And but I still want to know what the Big Arch Burger is. Can somebody tell me? And Terry, not in Scotland, but Pecola Tea, Terry, that one. Bojangles has the best fast food biscuits. Really, I've never been to a Bojangles. So are they? Listen here, Pecola Tea. How are they gonna be better than Church's? Have you had the Church's biscuits? Because until you say that Bojangles is the best, I need you to confirm or deny if you've ever had the Church's biscuits. Because the Church's biscuits is just so good. Keep talking about food while I'm eating microwave leftovers. I don't mind. What are your leftovers, Trail Dust? Just out of curiosity. Mac and cheese, maybe? I didn't realize that Popeyes was making its move into the United Kingdom. It definitely is. Okay, so Kentucky Fried Chicken has, I'm sure you all have had Kentucky Fried Chicken at this point, has its own blend of herbs and spices, without a doubt. But the crispiness of the skin is kind of lacking, Popeye's skin is way crispier. Way, way, way crispier than KFC's. And really, Pecola Tea, Bojangles biscuits are better than Church's. I obviously can't argue I've not had it. But I look forward to making an assessment myself. And let's see here. Chicken and gravy over mashed potatoes. Yum. Okay, well, I want your leftovers, Trail Dust. Shoot. And let's see here. I just ate a weird cracker, but put maple butter on it. It's maple syrup day. Oh, is it? Well, happy maple syrup day. I might have to go and get some maple syrup at Trader Joe's just in that honor today. And let's see here. We were surprised that Carl's Jr.'s fries were pretty good. Oh, Carl's Jr. What is that? That's also known as Hardee's, isn't it? Isn't Carl's Jr. and Hardee's the same thing? And for the life of me, I can't remember what their French fries are like. And let's see here. Okay, so a big arch is 3 beef patties with 2 slices of cheese. Oh, is it like a Big Mac? Or I'm gonna have to look that big arch up on the interwebs and find out just what it is you're talking about. And Beatty Bo, Chuck E. Cheese is making its way over there as well. That I find really surprising. I didn't know. I didn't even know that Chuck E. Cheese was still like in existence. It's been so long since I've seen one out here. But let me just tell you, I don't know what the iteration of Chuck E. Cheese is in the UK, but I'm assuming it's still sort of the same premise as it always was, which is a pizza parlor and a video game arcade, right? So when I was a kid, Chuck E. Cheese and Showtime Pizza Place was sort of the same thing. They were super cool to go to, you know, for birthday parties or this, that, and the other thing, but the pizza ultimately isn't really that good. The draw of the event is all the video games and the arcade. The pizza just happens to, like, be there. So, while I think going to Chuck E. Cheese is fun, I'm not so sure I would count on the pizza being so good. But I definitely think you should go to Chuck E. Cheese and have a good time playing skee ball and, you know, doing the video games and whatever. I can only hope and assume they've still got the skee ball, because skee ball was the cornerstone of my Chuck E. Cheese experience. And let's see here. The guy who owns Carl's Jr. is kind of an a-hole. He said to replace all of his workers with robots if he could. Well, you know, Terry, actually, he just said the quiet part out loud, because I'm pretty sure almost all the people who own businesses would, too. And okay, so Terry's coming in. Yes, Carl's Jr. and Hardee's are the same company. Carl's is on the left coast, Hardee's on the east coast. That would explain why I've never seen a Hardee's. Got it. And let's see here. Oh, thanks for the info, Terry. We won't go back. Got it. Yeah, but there we go. And yes, exactly. Chuck E. Cheese has kids pizza. It's a basic pizza that's cheese, pepperoni. You might be able to get a sausage. I don't really know. I only remember cheese and pepperoni as the options at Chuck E. Cheese. But what I do remember, and even as a kid, the pizza wasn't that good. The point of going to Chuck E. Cheese had nothing to do with the pizza. It had everything to do with the unlimited soda and the video games that we were playing, or the skee ball games. And then the tickets that you could get from winning at the skee ball. And then you go take 4,000 tickets and you can get a big plastic toy fly. Or whatever garbage they have behind the prize counter, which was the whole reason to go to Chuck E. Cheese, was to get that stupid set of sunglasses for 4,852 tickets, which probably cost you about $53 in skee ball, but that's okay. the glasses are only worth 53 cents. Yeah, that was the point of Chuck E. Cheese. It was the best. I'm very curious, Beatty Bo, if and when you go to Chuck E. Cheese, what your impression is of it. And, let's see here. Beatty Bo said pocket... Excuse me. Baneybo said the Popeyes in Glasgow is going to be in a former Pizza Hut. Nobody likes Pizza Hut. Their pizzas are too wet. Wet. What the hell do they do to your pizzas over there to make them wet? What do you mean wet? I mean, do you mean greasy? Greasy I get. Because, yeah, they, especially the deep dish, they be greasy. But wet? I know, I actually really kind of like, oh, too juicy. Too juicy with grease? I mean, I don't know. I kind of like Pizza Hut. I especially like their stuffed crust pizza. And I'm not going to lie, I don't mind their deep dish pizza, even though I'll tell you, it is absolutely greasy as hell. I mean, it is greasy. It is. But, I mean, but like, what's wrong with greasy pizza, man? I kind of like greasy pizza. And Terry, you like Pizza Hut spaghetti? What? Huh. Okay. I have a lot of questions. First off, Domino's is the best, multiple people are saying. And I agree and disagree. It depends on what kind of pizza you're looking for. But when it comes to the basic pizza, not a thick crust, not a thin crust, just a traditional pizza, I will agree. Domino's is super good. Super good. But let's rewind a little bit, shall we? Because I'm still stuck on Spaghetti Hut pizza. Let me rephrase that. Pizza Hut spaghetti. Obviously, I'm confused. What? What? I haven't been to a Pizza Hut sit-down place in a long, long time. Maybe back in the day they had spaghetti. I don't remember it. It's not on any of the menus in my neck of the woods these days. Has anyone other than Terry, where did you get this spaghetti? Was this in the UK or was this the United States? And my next question, I guess, is has anybody else had the Pizza Hut spaghetti? I'm not opposed to this idea at all. I'm just not familiar with this idea. And Katie, what do you pick on your custom build pizza? Sometimes I custom build, sometimes I just get, a standard everything on it kind of thing. And let's see here. Pinnell, is pizza Little Caesars, I'm assuming? And as long as you had extra cheese and hot peppers, well, first off, extra cheese always makes everything better. But Domino's is better over here than in the U.S. Well, how do you know that? How do you know that, Bainy Bo? And also, actually, let me just tell you right now, Bainy Bo, Domino's here, it varies from location to location. It all sort of depends on who's running the joint. Some Domino's are really crummy, and some of them are like the bomb. The one that's near my house, or the one that used to be nearest my house, was really good. And then they moved, and I guess I'm going to assume a whole other franchise manager or something came in. And now they're really just ooky. And nothing really has changed except for they moved from one place to another. So I don't know. And you've had Pizza Hut spaghetti, says eMusic, but I don't remember it. Okay, so Terry, you might not have dreamt it. We're coming in with, yeah, we think that Pizza Hut spaghetti is real. But I think that Spaghetti Hut pizza is way better. I do. I recommend Spaghetti Hut pizza. That's exactly it, Trail Dust. And no, Pizza is a Canadian brand, nothing to do with Little Caesars. Okay. Now, Pinnell, the reason why I asked that is because Little Caesars down here, part of their commercial logo is pizza. That's what they say. And so Hence my assumption. There you go. And that's what I mean about Pizza Hut pizza. It's ooky. I like the ooky. I like the ooky. Some people like grease on their pizza. In fact, actually, I was in line to get a slice of pizza at Big Mario's, and there was this chick in front of me, and she was like, I want extra orange sauce. And the person behind the counter was like, I don't know what you mean by that. And she's like, the orange sauce that you can dip the pizza in. And he was like, okay. And he thought that she meant the marinara, even though the marinara isn't really orange, but closest sauce to whatever, right? So he gets the cup of marinara and gives it to her, and she's like, no, not that. And she points to all the orange grease that has settled in the corner of the pan, and she's like, that's the orange sauce I want. And he was like, that's just grease. And she's like, yeah, I want a container of it. I guess she loved to dip her pizza in the pizza grease. So, to each their own. I like greasy pizza, but I don't like a pizza quite that greasy. Hey there, C Honda, so good to see you. We are, can you imagine this, talking about pizza. We're talking about food. Oh my God. And Terry in Scotland, thank you so much for those 1,000 biddies. But I am actually curious. Let's see if I missed it. Yeah, I am curious when y'all, be it Katie, Zora, or whoever, when you order your pizza and you order up your own flavor combo, what is your favorite? What is your ooh, this is what I always like to get. Excuse me. And let's see here. Nando's brought out Fanta chicken wings. Oh, Fanta like the soda? That makes sense, because soda pop makes a really good glaze for chicken wings, oddly enough. And let's see here. Terry Gilmore, yes, Costco pizza. The slices are ginormous and at $1.95. Come on, man. That's true. I don't eat a lot of Costco pizza because I don't go to Costco, and I don't have a membership. But I do remember that having their pizza was always a delight. Because some, generic pizzas are just meh. Costco makes a good pizza. Makes a very good pizza. And Terry in Scotland, you like pepperoni, Italian sausage, and green olives. Interesting. I can't think of very many pizza places that serve green olives. I always think of black olives as the pizza olive. And Baineybo, you have a Costco membership? Excellent, excellent. It really is a better deal to go shopping at Costco. I just don't need 48 things of toilet paper in my tiny house. And for the most part, all of their food that I would buy is just way too much for one person. So, let's see here. Okay, so Mama Sean, she is familiar with the green olives, I guess, on the pizzas. And hold on, what hairy fishes are you talking about? I don't object to the occasional hairy little fishies. What? Why did you call them hairy? I mean, I don't have a problem with anchovies on pizza. I don't have a problem with anchovies in Caesar salad dressing, but why did you call them... I've literally never worked with an anchovy. I've never seen one in real life. I'm sure I've eaten them plenty times. They look like they have little hairs. Oh, well, I had no idea. Like I said, never... Well, I've never. And Mr. and Mrs. Aloha Friday. Woohoo! Let's see here. Do I have a literal tiny house? Mrs. A wants a tiny home. I do and I don't. It's not the kind of tiny home you're thinking of. My house is just 500 square feet. It's a 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, one kitchen, 1 living area, 500 square feet little home. And so it's not a tiny home, but it's also not a big home. And so I'm assuming when you mean tiny home, you mean like the kind that's on a trailer, and usually they're double decker and the sleep loft and the crampy cramp or whatever. No, don't have that. I have a just enough space for all my stuff. Maybe not quite enough space for all my stuff, but just enough space. If I were cleaner, neater, and had a better organizational skills, would have just enough room for my space. Wow, I can't say it all. I would have what do I have? I have just enough room for all my stuff if I was better organized. That was difficult. Imagine how difficult it is to keep this tiny house organized when I can't even say it. Yeah. I lack housekeeping skills as well. But I got a new vacuum, and I've been using it almost every day. I didn't yesterday though. And let's see here. What do we have here? It's a perfect home, but yes, that's what Mrs. A was thinking. Yes, yeah. I'm assuming that you guys live in a bigger house than a tiny house, since Mrs. A dreams of tiny, tiny, tiny. And you know, I've known people who've lived in tiny homes, but the reality is they always have a storage shed somewhere else, a storage unit somewhere else. Because the reality is your tiny home really cannot hold everything you need as a grown person. It might be able to hold all your summer clothes, but it's not going to be able to hold all your summer clothes and your winter clothes. Might be able to hold all your winter clothes, but you're going to have to put that summer wardrobe back in storage at the storage shed. And you haven't sat on your sofa for years. It's piled with clothes. Let's see here. And you probably haven't worn those clothes in years either. And Katie's Aura, a heads up, if you have a nut allergy, stay away from pesto. Oh yeah, for sure. Now a peanut allergy may or may not matter, but a tree nut allergy, absolutely, dude. Yeah, they've got it's supposed to be made with pine nuts, but pesto has been known to be made with with walnuts. They make it with the various and assorted things, but yeah, for sure. You think it's just olive oil, garlic, and basil, but no. There is, and maybe Parmesan cheese, but there's also nuts in there. And let's see here. Vacuuming every day. We don't know if we can continue to watch this show. Well, okay, to be clear, not the whole house gets vacuumed every day, just like the certain main area. But like in my bedroom, I haven't vacuumed that in a while. We'll just leave it at that. A while. And let's see here. All right, so we are 2 minutes past the Lono listening break, which is really unfortunate because I don't have a Lono listening break. So what we're gonna do instead is we're going to watch this, and it's not over, but I just always have this one here just in case. We're not done, okay? Your house cleaner vacuums for you. I really have been thinking about getting a housekeeper because there's just some things I just don't like to do. Vacuuming is one of them, actually. So I am so envious of your house cleaner, Eviazek. And Mrs. A says 800 is a sweet spot with lots of sheds. Yeah, 800 would probably be super ideal for me. But then again, you know what? It would just be another room for me to gather more crap. All right, so let's listen to some Lono. Even though this traditionally is used at the end of an event, we are not at the end of the event, okay? This is not an ending. This is a mid-keeper, a mid break. We're going to listen to some Lono. It's just not an official Lono listening break. And we're not going away. So we'll be back. Boop.
Okay. Hang on.
Okay, that was just weird. I don't even know what happened there. Multiple videos interspersed with each other. All right, well, that's okay because I fixed it, sort of. I believe we have another video that we can watch. I do believe, yes, indeed, we have another video we can watch. I also believe that perhaps this Friday, Andy Bumatai might be back. I don't know for certain, but in theory, on December 19th, Andy Bumatai will be back. And I believe that Andy Bumatai is responsible for this video. Let's try one more Lono listening break, shall we?
Should see the smiles on their happy faces when they tell me to turn down in these places, but I know what they want. Play the kind of music, then they tell me turn it up. I believe in love, yes, I believe it. I believe in love, I believe in you, yes, I believe. Someone who could make you do all sorts of funny things. She goes out to buy brand new cars and diamond rings, but I know what she wants. Play her kind of music, then she tells me turn it up. I believe in love, yes, I believe it. I believe in love.
Okay, so we looped back around. I had to step away, and then boom, the song was over, and then it had to start again. Today has just been a little bit of a weird, wacky, wonderful day. Thomas the Turtle, thank you for coming on in 42 months in a row. Thank you for re-subbing. Awesome. And so let's see here. It looks like there is no consensus on whether or not Andy will be back. So we are hoping that he will be back on Friday. And let's just say, I believe he will be. I believe. And let's see here. Pinnell says, I have a tiny mop that I use sometimes. Doesn't work very well. I probably should get a cleaner in now and again, I guess. Yes, we are talking about house cleaners and how some of us have them and most of us dream of having one. Let's see here. Terry and Scott and letting Thomas know. Haven't been able to stream on Twitch. It freezes up. Been streaming on Discord and I'm trying to learn how to stream on Facebook, he says. Well, I don't know, Terry. I know that I don't know how to stream on Facebook, but I do know that Andy sometimes does, and he also sometimes has trouble doing it. So don't feel bad if you can't figure it out, because if Andy can't even figure it out, then it's probably next to impossible. It just can't be done. It cannot be done. All right, so let's see here. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, I know what we're going to talk about. Did you guys know that 2026 is the semi-quincentennial? That's right. The word of 2026 is semi-quincentennial. Semi-quincentennial. And we're going to be coming out with new coins and medals. We don't care about the medals. I mean, maybe we care about the medals, but I don't think we care about the medals. But in 2026, we're going to be coming out with all sets of new quarters, dimes, nickels, etc., etc. And they're all going to be redesigned with 1776 to 2026. Apparently, they're going to be only available for 1 year, so they pretty much come off of the line, off of the line as a collector's item to begin with. And I'm sure you're waiting with bated breath. What are these coins going to look like, Statter? What are they going to look like? Do you know? I do know. This is what some of the coins are going to look like. They've got several new quarters that are coming out. And they've also, like I said, got a little Liberty dime there. And that's what that's going to look like. And then this is going to be on a quarter. So we're going to see Lincoln's face on a quarter, which is just going to mess my mind up. But then we've got our little Mayflower people, I guess. And then we've got this Thomas Jefferson fellow who lived in a place called Monticello. And then we've got the familiar face on the quarter. And then the Revolutionary War. And then I don't actually know who that guy is, so I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you. But yeah, so these are the coins that are coming out. There's a little Liberty dime. And I think that that's the only dime. And then these are all quarters that are, like I said, it's going to be so weird to see Abraham Lincoln on the quarter. But apparently he's going to be on the quarter. And then this, I believe, is going to be, the 5 cent. I don't think that the 5 cent really looks like it's changing too much. And just like this one's really not changing that much. The only thing is they've got the dates 1776 to 2026. And so yeah. So I don't know when they're going to start releasing these coins, but they are 2026 coins. So I'm going to assume you should be able to get them soon. And like I said, they're pretty much coming straight off the line as a collectible because they're only going to be doing the dual dates, 1776, 2026 for this 1 year. So, grab a couple coins and keep them in your pocket and whatever, or not. I don't care, but I just thought you guys would like to know that we're getting ourselves a whole new set of coins. And no, he's not dead yet, Terry. We can't put him on a coin until he's dead. So no, there won't be any quarters or coins of currency value with Donnie John's visage on it. No. I think he has to be dead. I know you have to be dead in order to get on a postage stamp, at least. I'd like to think you have to be dead to get on a coin. But actually, I don't know. But no, he's not going to be on it. He's not going to be on. Not going to do it. We're not going to do it. Not going to do it. At least not this year. Yeah, so there we go. That's the economic outlook for the next 12 months. Collect coins. Just collect the coins. Just collect the coins. And then let's see here. What else do we have? Ooh, I know what we've got. All right. I have a question for you guys. And you don't necessarily have to know the answer. But I don't want you to look it up because you're going to find out the answer, okay? Oh, yeah, he's trying, but it's... I mean, he might get a commemorative coin. Just honestly, give him a commemorative coin. If it shuts him up, just like a little child with a lollipop, if that's what shuts him up, just give him a commemorative coin, okay? But, when it comes to real currency, no, you're not the Queen of England. You don't get to be on our money, okay? Actually, though, now that I think about it, and Terry and Katie Zora, you guys would be the ones, Baneybo too, has the UK changed their current, is Prince Charles, is the king on your currency or is the queen still on your currency? The Queen of England doesn't get to be on our money. No. Let's see here. Canada comes out with so many special coins that I don't bother with them anymore. Yeah, actually, to tell you the truth, the United States has a lot of those kind of coins too. I was trying for a while to collect all the 50 state coins, but then they kept coming out with state coin. It's silly. Nobody I know has any money. Yes, exactly. But either way, though, I have to wonder, I don't know why I have such a problem, because I really am having a problem saying this. I don't want to say it. Is King Charles on your money? The king is on the money. Okay, all right. Because for real, dude, he will always be Prince Charles to me. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to dismiss your symbolic, regal head of state guy, but he will always be a prince to me. Okay, he's never... The queen is the queen, and he's just a prince, and that's all he is. I realize that's not how life works. I know, I get it. But he's just Prince Charles to me, and I think he always will be. So I really have a hard time calling him king. You just saw that. That was that was painful. Nobody uses cash over here anymore. Wow, interesting. Yeah, we in the United States, plenty movement towards a cashless society, but plenty pushback. The state of New York, the state of Ohio, and even the federal government is thinking about mandating cash for the most part. If you are not mandating it in the sense that you have to use cash, but you have to, as a business, if you serve over, if you have, I don't remember what the wording is in the New York one, but it's something like if you have gross sales of over $200 million a year. So like they're talking about chains, they're talking about McDonald's, they're talking about all these places. You have to accept cash, because there are plenty places that will not accept cash. Places like Baskin and Robbins. You can't go to the Baskin and Robbins in my neighborhood and give them money. You have to pay with your debit card. And I in principle refuse to go to places like that. Any place that doesn't accept cash, to me, just they don't deserve my money. I don't think it's fair. There's tons of reasons why people are kept out of the banking system, and if you don't have a bank, then you have to have cash. And I prefer going to the places in my town that are cash only. And yes, we do have a couple places like that. And yes, places that are cash only usually are a little bit shady, and that's okay. Okay? Because they usually have really good food too. And we pay most of our monthlies with cash, and of course the payments to the Commonwealth of Virginia for our taxes due every year. What about tips at 31 Flavors? You have to, I guess, put it on the... I honestly, see, Honda, I don't know, because when I saw that they were debit only, or no cash, I just walked out the door. I was like, well, I'm not coming in here then. But I'm gonna assume that they just you have to add it onto your debit slip, or on the, when you pay with the touch screen, you get to add the tip in or whatever, because you can get tips electronically. Although, actually, usually you can get tips electronically with things like Apple Pay and Google Pay. There is no tip line to add a tip to, and so actually my bar won't accept Apple Pay unless you say to the bartender, here is my tip. I am going to tip you. Here's cash for your tip. Now let me pay with my Apple Pay. They'll do that. But unless you promise them a cash tip, they won't take your Apple Pay, because there's no place for you to leave them a tip. And therefore people don't, and they're tired of that. So Apple Pay, actually, oddly enough, Apple Pay is supposed to make things easier, but I've seen it only make things more complicated, because it doesn't have a tip line. And I don't trust the tips go to the server. Well, first off, see, Honda, any kind of tipping situation at a Baskin and Robbins type store that I've ever been to, it just goes into a communal jar and they all split it at the end of the night. So there's that. But yeah, you don't trust that the tips go to the server. Fair enough. And let's see here. In some stores they do. Wait, hold on. Hey, Midnight Freaks. Hey, Carl. Good to see you. And let's see here. Trailers, but if you use cash, the bank's gonna get a cut of the transaction. How will they survive? Yeah, exactly, Trail Dust, which is pretty much exactly the situation why I don't want to use my debit or credit card. There's no need for them to get in that transaction. They weren't involved. And the penny situation is going to get tricky. We are mandated to give exact change at businesses. We are strongly encouraging debit, credit. That is messed up. I know that the 7-Eleven that was down the street from my house that's been closed for about a year, the people who worked at that place, they actually were not using pennies for years, but they would always round up. So like, if they owed you 3 cents in change, they would just give you a nickel. And if you owed them 1 penny, like if it was $6.11, they would be fine with just getting $6 and the dime. So obviously they weren't giving exact change, but they also weren't expecting exact change. And they were, giving you the more benefit of the doubt. They would always overcompensate for that penny or two. And yes, eMusic, hot off the presses. Just heard from Nani Aloha. Andy is doing a show this Friday. All right, you heard it here first, guys. Okay, no, you didn't. eMusic heard it here first, guys, and then she told all of us. So yes, thank you, eMusic, for having the finger on the pulse of the button. That's right. Here at Chatter with Statter, we've got the finger on the pulse of the button. How's that for a t-shirt? By the way, I recommend pizza at Spaghetti Hut. Yeah, okay, so. The pulse of Boomatai. That is exactly it. And yeah, I hope that Carly feels better too. Carl, flu and COVID on top of each other sound like a flippin' nightmare. So keep healthy, stay away from her so you don't get sick, but take care of her, so go near her. Stay away from her, but you go near her. You take care of her, but stay away from her. Make that work somehow. All right, you guys, so let's learn something today. And maybe you already knew this, but I don't care. I didn't know this. This is a little. It's a little trivial fact about the longest bridge. It might be the longest bridge in the world. I'm not sure. But it is the longest bridge in the United States. And when I first heard about the longest bridge in the United States, I said, oh, I know what that is. And I was totally wrong, dude. So, I don't know if you know what the longest bridge in the United States is, but you're going to find out. And here we go. Let's learn about the longest bridge in the United States. It kind of sounds freaky when you think about it. Longer than the CBBT. I cannot answer that question, Shock. I do not know what the CBBT is. So maybe, I don't know. What's the CBBT? And if it's the bridge that I'm talking about, then I'll say, no, it's the exact same length. Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. No, because that's a tunnel. This is a bridge. This is a bridge. So here we go. Let's learn about the longest bridge. Boop.
Most people don't know this, but the longest bridge in America isn't in New York, and it's definitely not in California. It's not the Golden Gate, and it's not even one of those massive East Coast mega bridges people always assume set the record. Drive onto it, and suddenly you're 24 miles out over open water, with no land in sight. For almost an hour, it feels like your car is floating across a giant blue mirror. Waves shimmer under you, storms roll across the horizon, and pelicans skim the surface beside the roadway. At its longest stretch, you're so far from shore that the mainland disappears completely. It's such an extreme crossing that drivers report a strange feeling. The world goes silent, and all you hear is the wind and the hum of tires on concrete. When it first opened, people said it was impossible. Too long, too exposed, too dangerous to build over a lake that size. Locals joked it would wash away in the first big storm. But instead, it became a record breaker, a lifeline, and one of the most iconic engineering feats in the South. So what's this place called? It's the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway in Louisiana. Most people don't know this, but the longest bridge in America isn't in New York.
And you know, what do I have? I have a map. I totally thought it was the Keys. In fact, I was watching it with such smugness, like, I already know. And then the voiceover was like, on the lake. And I was like, on the lake? What the hell is they talking about? Well, as it turns out, this is what the heck they was talking about. That is the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway or whatever, and I don't know how many miles across it is, but I believe it's something like 30 or 40 or 50 or 80 or 143 or something like that. I don't really know, but what I also know is, there we go. That's a close-up of the bridge. As you can see, it's just 24 is what they just said. Is that what they just said? Because I thought it was 24 miles out is when you don't see the land. Either way, 24 miles. And they say it takes an hour? It takes an hour to go 24 miles? Wow. Anyway, that is what it looks like. And then, yeah, and then that, what's going on there? And then that's what that looks like. And, yeah, it honestly, Mr. and Mrs. Aloha Friday, I'd go the long way. I feel like I would too. I mean, I understand that there obviously was a need to make that direct connection between the two towns. Okay, I get that. There must have been a need, but if you can't see the land, from at least one part of the land from the bridge, and then, okay, Shock, 23.83 according to Wikipedia, 8 miles to the horizon each direction, I guess. So yeah, I don't usually have a problem on bridges per se, but there are some bridges that freak me the flying fork out. The bridge out of Astoria, Oregon, crossing the Columbia River, the mouth of the Columbia River, that one is bizarre because when you're driving onto it, it looks like you're about to drive off into the water, but then you do a weird curve and you go up a hill, and it's a very freaky bridge. I don't like that bridge, and I don't think I would like the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway Bridge either. On the other hand, I would kind of like to experience it, you know? Because like they were saying, you know, you don't see the land, you hear nothing but the pelicans skimming the water and the breeze and the tires on the concrete and all of that. And it seems like it might be neat, but it also seems like it might be terrifying. Similar to like the route that we were assuming, Shock and I were assuming, and I think C Honda as well, that Highway 1, I think is it, that Key West, in the Florida one that goes down all the way, the Keys, that one, seems like it would be equally terrifying in its own different kind of terrifying way. And how am I with Bridge Over Troubled Waters? Well, I like the song. I like the song a lot. And I guess if it's a short enough bridge that I feel is sturdy enough, I'd much rather be on the bridge than in those troubled waters. But how about I just not have to cross the troubled waters to begin with and stay safe on shore? Yeah. And there's a causeway to Avery Island where they make Tabasco too, but I haven't found it yet either. And way up in the chat, Pinnell was saying that there's a bridge to Prince Edward Island. And I have to say, I am going to assume that that is not a short bridge by any stretch. And I'm going to guess that that is a long bridge. And because it's in Canada, it might even be bigger than the Lake Pontchartrain Causeway. Bridge to PEI. And I'm looking it up right now to find out. Well, what? No, that's... According to my... Well, according to my phone, the bridge to Prince Edward Island is only 44 miles from my house. I'm on the West Coast. I don't think Google understands where I'm at. But it looks like, yes, 12.9 kilometer, 8 mile bridge. So not quite as long as the one in Louisiana, but still 8 miles is long enough, man. But it's not just 44 miles from my house, okay? It's just not. I don't live 44 miles from that bridge, despite what my phone tells me. Despite what my phone tells me. And by the way, you guys, just so you know, hold on. We broached this topic earlier, and just so you know, I write checks. I write checks. I write checks. So if y'all were wondering, who still writes checks? I still write checks. So there you go. And yeah, above the ocean is not, is also way... Well, but you know what though? Once lakes get to be so big, they might as well be a flippin' ocean. So it's... I don't know though. Above the ocean does seem just like a little bit more Freaky Friday than above a lake, but still. And eMusic, you write checks too. Excellent. I believe Shock was asking if we still wrote 2024 on our checks, and no, I haven't done that for almost a year. However, next month I probably will be guilty of writing 2025. And imagine being on the Louisiana Bridge during Katrina or right after. I would like to hope to think that there was no one on that bridge during the hurricane, right? I mean, okay, so I said that out loud and I realized there was somebody on that bridge during a hurricane. Of course there was. I mean, of course there was. I don't know for certain that there was, but you know that there was somebody on that bridge during the hurricane because they had something to prove about something or something. Shoot, maybe they thought it was the safest place to be. Shoot, maybe it was the safest place to be. Actually, it's a bridge. Did it get submerged during Katrina as opposed to all them houses in New Orleans that did? Maybe being on the bridge was the safest place to be. I don't think it would have been the safest place to be. Not during the hurricane, though. The last check you wrote in Texas bounced. That's why you ran to Scotland. There you go. Let's see here. Alrighty, so, kiting checks is a fun hobby. No, not unless you leave in the country before you do it. I've had so many friends who it took years for the banks to finally forgive them for like one accidental $10 check at Denny's that they just never bothered to deal with. And let's see here. Pinnell, my last landlord only took checks. Now rent comes directly from my bank. There you go. And Mr. and Mrs. Loho Freddy, yeah, hopefully that bridge was closed, but still, you know, just like you said, but adventure seekers, a little orange cone and a barricade is not one to stop an adventure seeker from doing what adventure seekers do. Speaking of which, and this is really mean of me, but at the same time, I just have no patience for this kind of stupidity. Last week, during the torrential flooding that we had here in the Pacific Northwest, we had a set of kayakers decide that it was a good idea to go kayaking out in the stormy Stormerson and the storm that stormed, and they decided to take the kayaks through the Ballard Locks. What does that mean? That means they went from Lake Washington, freshwater, through the locks out to the Puget Sound, saltwater. The locks connect freshwater to saltwater. And in going through the locks, they ended up needing rescue, and one of them died. And, yeah, well, what were you thinking, man? I mean, I'm not trying to be a Queen Bithka or anything, but sometimes I can be a Queen Bithka, and yeah, just rearrange Bithka and figure out what it is I'm trying to say. We were basically in the equivalent of a hurricane in our neck of the woods, and you are out there in your kayaks, in the locks, which fill with water, and then open up, and I don't even know, but yeah, one of them died, and you know what? I'm horrible, but I actually kind of, I mean, I do feel bad-ish, but not really. You know, stupid. F around and find out. Well, you just effed around. And I say this as someone who has done my fair share of effing around. Please understand, I have had to have been rescued from a river in 25-degree weather in the middle of January when my raft got torn out from under me from a submerged log, and I got dumped in the river. Me and my friend got dumped into the river. Yeah, I gotta understand. You gotta understand. I have effed around a lot, and I've been very lucky. But seriously, you F around enough, you gonna find out. And I found out, and I got lucky. They found out, and they didn't get lucky. And exactly, lots of warnings to stay away from locks without boats. And yes, there is something to be said for, well, a kayak is a type of boat. Yeah, kinda, but not the type of boat that locks were designed for, okay? I just don't even understand what they were thinking getting in those locks. I mean, there's so many levels of what were you thinking from just going out in the kayak in that kind of weather to begin with, and then going into the locks, it kind of blew my mind to such a degree that I got real cynical real quick. And I realized it's an ugly take. It really was. And saying this all to you out loud really makes me realize that's an ugly perspective. That really is an ugly perspective that you're holding, you know? On the other hand, as Mr. and Mrs. Aloha Friday say, I'm okay with whatever people try to do, but don't expect rescue if it puts other people at risk. And obviously rescues by definition always are going to put other people at risk, but I mean, y'all should have known better. And I guess the problem is you thought you knew so much better, you thought you knew so well that you thought you were just way too overconfident. And let's see here. Scotland has one of the wildest canal locks in the world. It's on a big wheel that lifts the lock way up high to an aqueduct. Oh my God, that sounds awful. And and let's see here. Wait, what was? We got an adventure next month. We go to Nam, and that means we get on airplanes. My nephew is on the crew, cleaning up the Louisville flight, and a 777 at Dulles lost an engine on takeoff a couple days ago. Oh my God. And let's see here. Everyone walked away from Dulles. That's good. They managed that emergency perfectly. Nice. And Terry, you're right. Snow makes people dumb. Unfortunately, though, this was just rain. And E-Music, they got up to altitude, did a fuel dump to lighten the plane, and came back around and landed. Yep, classic. By the way, y'all, I don't know if y'all do know this or not, but if you live near an airport, like I do, you are subject to jet fuel being dumped in the atmosphere around you. At any point in the day, that might happen. Doesn't happen often, but the moment that a plane has to make an emergency landing and they have a lot of fuel on board, they dump that fuel into the sky to lighten the load before they land that baby doll. And so, now granted, just like Shock said, if you're at 5,000 feet, the fuel can be dumped and it won't make it to the ground. Yeah, it's going to evaporate into the air. It's not going to make it to the ground. But still, though, it is like, oh, neat. There's just a bunch of gasoline that's in my atmosphere. But it is totally standard, totally normal, absolutely acceptable emergency operating procedure for airplanes. And I didn't know that until I learned that when I was a kid because one of my mom's best friends was a flight attendant, so she happened to, know these things. But I have a feeling a lot of people don't necessarily know that, it's like, oh yeah, dude, jet fuel, they can just dump the jet fuel if they need to. And Pinnell, everyone laughs at the bison selfie people. Yes, totally. And rightfully so. They just, here's the thing about the bison selfie people. First off, they've clearly never been around a cow or a bull, and I'm guessing probably not a horse. Maybe a horse. But cows and bulls, for as huge and seemingly slow moving creatures, are actually remarkably quick, way faster than you would ever know or think, and they're so powerful. And cows and bulls, they're tiny in comparison to bison. So yeah, those bison people, dude, I really don't think they understand how fast those creatures can move. And how quickly they can move quickly. It's not like a case of, I've got to pick up my speed to get some faster. I'm going a little faster. No, they go to 0 to 60 in half a second. Well, okay, maybe not that, but they move way fast. And I don't think the selfie people understand that. So, and you know what else people don't understand? That it's time's up. Oh my God, I've talked for so long. We've talked for so long. We've chatted for so long. So, it's the bottom of the hour. Time is up. Hopefully we will see each other on Friday, you guys. Friday. I can't remember what time, though. Is it 5 p.m. that Andy's on? Can someone who knows better than me remind me what time? It's been so long, I can't even remember what Andy's on. I mean, he's on Friday, but when? What time on Friday? Does anyone remember? Bueller? Does anyone remember? 6:30. Okay, 6:30 West Coast time, 3:30 Hawaiian time, 9:30. No, 6:30 West Coast time, 4:30 Hawaiian time, 9:30 East Coast time, 8:30 Central time. Wow, that hurt my brain. All right, and if we don't see each other on Friday at Andy's show, hopefully we'll see each other on Saturday. We will be watching A Christmas Story. It's going to be our only holiday-themed movie this year. And you know where that is. And if you don't, I'll tell you, it's Map. Oh, no way. Map. Oh, come on. Let's try one more time. Map Statter. Map Statter. There we go. Map Statter on Twitch. Map Statter. And C Honda coming in. I thought it was 5:30 Pacific time. I was thinking that too. So maybe it's 5:30 and then not 6:30. So let's maybe see if it's 5:30. And yes, Shock, I was thinking about doing a Rob Reiner film this week just because, and I think we might do some Rob Reiner films in the next coming weeks. But for all y'all who do want to go back down memory lane, this is Spinal Tap, The Princess Bride, When Harry Met Sally. Did you know that Rob Reiner was actually part of the crew that wrote the original Happy Days pilot? Yes, indeedly do, my friends. Rob Reiner had his finger in almost every single pop cultural reference thing, TV show, movie, etc. So, if you're in the mood for watching some good little fluffy-brained cinematic cinema, Rob Reiner is where you want to go. All right, so I just remember the Andy show is quite late for me. I could be wrong, says Shock. So yes, I hope that Donnie will remind us all exactly the timing because we all seem to be confused. But that's okay because confusion is a standard operating procedure in this neck of the woods. So. And you're welcome for the cake, Mr. and Mrs. Aloha Friday. They got their fruit cake a little while ago and they said that it was pretty tasty. So if you all, mad batter, exactly. So if you all are interested in getting the spam cake, the spam fruit cake, or as we've decided to call it, the fram cake, don't want to infringe on any copyrights or trademarks, let me know, madstatter@gmail.com, and I can probably get one to you in the mail. Can't promise it'll get you there before Christmas, but still, for the holiday festivities, we might be able to get you one. All right. Thanks so much for hanging out. Thanks for subscribing and resubbing and gift subbing and the biddies, etc., etc. And by the way, thank you, moderators, for moderating because we actually had to moderate today. Who knew? All right. See each other hopefully on Friday, and it looks like it's 5:30 West Coast time is sort of what the consensus is consensing on for Andy Bumatai and the Daily Pigeon Live, which is not this show, but that's the show we're going to see each other next, hopefully on